Hey you guys, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I am Sean Fearless Poet. I am coming to you live. What side of town am I on? This is off of Moreland. This is Moreland. I'm in Berwyn's world, and it's early in the morning. I was trying to look in the mirror and see if I still had the wave caps on, and you know, the little, you know, but it's not there. So it's early, y'all, and that just lets you know the fire that this man has to rise to the occasion. So we're going to do a quick interview and look into the life of Mr. Berwyn Kemp. Mr. Berwyn Kemp, I appreciate you being with us on this show that's coming up on May 1st. So tell me first, you know, a little background about you. Like, where are you from? Are you originally from?
I'm originally from Toledo, Ohio.
Wow.
I lived there most of my life. I was a military baby, so I was originally born in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Toledo is where to Cincinnati? I know Cincinnati.
An hour away.
Okay. North,
so,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I lived in Toledo from about the age of 5 till I was 18. Then my parents moved to Cincinnati, Ohio. So I moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, where I met my musical mentor. Her name is Apostle Melissa Brown. And that's when I got into the heavier side of music, when I got more into the worship aspect of it, prophetic worship. I started training as a worship leader.
Yeah.
I loved Derek Coley. I loved, who did I love? He was the main one. I wanted to sound like him because, you know, back then I was a great first tenor, so I had the great falsetto, so I could do all the runs
back
and the
there,
rest.
you playing.
But, you know, now I turned into a baritone, so, you know, it's got a little heavy. Now I got the Will Downing sound.
Okay.
But, you know, when I was younger, I had the Derek Coley down pat. So every competition I did, I always did a Derek Coley song. When Sunday Comes, He Is Preparing Me. Those are always my main two songs that I did, and always won.
Yeah.
So when I was about 13, I was going to get signed to a label. And I didn't get signed to the label because when the man auditioned me, a couple weeks after we started doing the paperwork, his brother died. And he ended up having to come to Atlanta, Georgia, and pastor the brother's church. So he had to kind of put his record label on hold, and that my dream just kind of disappeared from there.
Wow.
So from there, like I said, I started doing worship leading and was a worship leader. Then my pastor was good friends with Vicki Winans, so I started singing background for her for a while. And then once I really got into the
What was that like?
It was very interesting because I got to see the real side of the gospel industry. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
And that's all we're going to say on that. I mean, you know, I think people don't realize, you know, as a professional singer, you know, first off, you know, it's a business.
It's a business.
It's a business. Just like any other, you know, genre, it is a business. And, you know, it's not perfect.
And that's the part that, as a young man, I had to deal with. I had to deal with seeing the imperfections, and I had a few nights where I sat up and cried, like, oh, why is all this happening? Like, I thought these people were supposed to be like Jesus. I started realizing they weren't, and it was, you know, but it also helped liberate me to understand that I could be free and be who I was, and I didn't have to live under a microscope. But I still had to make sure that when I was in public, I carried a brand and that I carried myself in a respectable manner that people still respect me.
Very true. Yeah.
And so that was what I learned the most about singing background. Like I said, I was from Toledo, Ohio, so we used to always run on the weekends up to Detroit. We were Clark
Gospel
Sisters.
Capital, everybody
Fanatics.
Came to Detroit,
yeah, so we had Vanessa Bell Armstrong. We had Witness with what's her name? Lisa. I just call them Witness so much I forgot her name. But you know, I always went up there and listened to them, so that's where I always got my ear about. You know, I learned how to do runs and riffs and growl and scream, but I never could get into the fast songs. I could do them with worship teams, but I always was a worshiper. So every time they would have me the mic, they already knew, oh, Berwyn about to take us to worship, and we about to stretch out on the floor prostrate. And so, so I had kind of a name in Toledo as the worship leader that I was going to wreck the house.
Yeah, you're going to take them behind the veil. So many people, I can count on one hand how many people I know that, I think people take for granted, like we were just talking about, people, we gravitate towards the people that sing, falsetto, high range, blah, 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 and that's fine. But I think it's also just as special, the people in the industry like B.B. Wyman, the Will Down, and those people have an exceptional type voice, and I think a lot of times we take for granted. We get caught up in the discrimination of our ears for the people that, can sing, a male guy, a guy that can sing, all three parts. He can even go up into almost a soprano, his head voice or chest voice or whatever. I think it's equally as important to, acknowledge those that, have that, that range. Women too, like Jessica, I don't know if you're familiar with Jessica Reedy.
Oh, yes.
From
I
Sunday's
love
Best.
her.
Man,
I love
she's
her voice.
dope. She is.
And when she hits that bottom register,
yeah.
she
I try
every
to
time.
practice it, and I'm like, I just kind of sound like a frog. I'm like, oh, dude. And if you don't know who Jessica Reedy is, please Google, download her stuff. She's a beast. Came from Sunday's Best.
My grandmother passed away a couple months ago. Her favorite song she would always want me to sing was "Tis So Sweet."
Okay. I know.
Okay. "Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take Him at His word, just to